Hey guys, welcome back to both my channel and also to Canon Fodder. Canon Fodder issue 117 to be exact. So, to celebrate this incredibly iconic number, and also the fact that this year is Chief's 20th birthday, which is insane, Grim has asked me to put together a little something about our favourite green cyborg to celebrate. So, I ruminated on a few ideas that I had for a little bit, but ultimately, I knew what I had to do. I thought we'd take a look at what I personally consider to be the Master Chief's most iconic moments from each one of his games. How incredibly on brand. The Master Chief is a character who means so much to so many people, quite literally millions, if not more than that. He's an icon of gaming, the face of Xbox, and although he's, technically minus 490 years old, he's almost 20 years old to us, so damn it, let's get this man a weapon and begin. Starting right from the top, who can forget Chief's incredibly on-brand cameo in the hangar bay of the autumn at the end of Reach? Chief has a nap in every single game he's featured in, so seeing him do precisely that while the crew of the autumn were frantically running about, trying to prep the ship to leave Reach's surface, even though it technically shouldn't be able to do that, was incredibly fitting, if you ask me. Then, after a nice 20-day nap, Chief was awoken to the site of Alpha Halo, an ancient ring world that the Covenant wanted control of, and after a hard landing, the War of Alpha Halo began. But this was a battle that would alter the course of Chief's military service, and more so, the universe as a whole, forever. Now, Chief had many iconic moments on Alpha Halo, but for me, nothing will ever top the reveal of the Flood. At this point, Chief had been fighting the Covenant for about 27 years, and he was well acquainted with them and their ways. Humanity only had one alien enemy they were fighting that they could focus 100% of the war effort on. But thanks to Keys and company, that was about to change. Seeing Chief legitimately perplexed at what he was watching in Jenkins' helmet cam footage, and then immediately being hit by wave after wave of this unknown parasite, a radically different enemy to anything he was used to, was nothing short of iconic. It marked a pivotal change in the war, and one that Chief had to adjust to fast. But as Fireteam Raven would further prove, Chief was rather quick to adjust. As a child soldier bred for war, the Flood were really just another target, and his short cameo in Fireteam Raven proves that. Incredibly badass, and if you ask me, incredibly iconic. Halo 2 also marked many pivotal moments for both Chief and humanity. The Covenant invasion of Earth, the reveal of another Halo ring, followed by the reveal that there were 5 more out there in the galaxy somewhere. The reveal of High Charity and the inner workings of the Covenant, all of which bore incredibly iconic moments from the Master Chief. Moments of badassery, moments of maybe being a bit too quiet, moments of surprise, and moments of heroism. But if you ask me, none rival Return to Sender. Chief launching himself out of the Cairo station with a Covenant pickle bomb in hand, and proceeding to soar through the centre of a cataclysmic naval battle, with UNSC and Covenant capital ships exploding all around him to deliver the bomb to the core of an enemy ship, activate it, and then watch the fireworks as he rapidly descended to the Amberclad, somehow managing to land right above the bridge where Jonathan and Miranda were, was a moment that was so iconic Bungie deemed it worthy to announce the entire game with, and later, Q43 deemed it worthy enough to announce the entire Master Chief collection with. This is one of the best Halo moments of all time, and for me, puts on display the absolute raw heroism and badassery of Spartan 117. And Halo 3 is much the same, packed full of iconic moments from its epic announcement to its sobering end, but for me, Chief and Arbiter's back-to-back scene in the Ark Citadel takes the cake and then some. This moment summarises the grand story arc of the entire trilogy to me. 2 species, once mortal enemies responsible for the deaths of billions of their respective kind, now standing back to back, ready to fight for one another's lives. Behind them lies the corpse of their previous common enemy, one so severe it brought their species together, and now, surrounding them, is their next threat. a galaxy-consuming parasite that defeated the Forerunners and is now poised to repeat history and do the same to the galaxy's current defenders. Seeing the apex of both these species ready to fight together till the bitter end to protect the lives of the innocent from a grim and rather brutal demise is the highlight of the entire franchise to me. Two heroes facing overwhelming odds but willing to do whatever they can to overcome them is Halo in a nutshell. This is my favourite Halo scene of all time and is absolutely the Master Chief's most iconic moment. Now, Halo 4 took the Master Chief's character in a rather different and novel direction. No longer was Chief a one-liner machine, meant to present the embodiment of the player. Now, he was an actual character, as he had been in the expanded universe for years, and with that came a more human relationship between him and Cortana, as she slowly descended into rampancy. For me, Halo 4's most iconic Chief moment is actually quite a curveball. It's a scene that I think encapsulates this new take on the two of them, on Cortana as the mouthpiece and the encyclopedia of the duo, and as Chief as the muscle and shrapnel of the duo. It's the scene before the two depart the Infinity for the final time. Cortana is describing Requiem's son, how she knows that it's not a real son despite looking so, but that part of the curse of being a sentient AI is that despite having this insane wealth of knowledge, she'll never actually know if that son feels real. And then, in the back, Chief is just quietly chambering around in his assault rifle. Halo 4's narrative focusing on which member of this duo is actually the machine, the artificial intelligence, or the child soldier cyborg in power armor is beyond compelling. It still has that Halo DNA, but it takes the characters in a radically different direction, and it really tries to compare the two in terms of their humanity. And I think that this scene encapsulates that comparison perfectly, which is why, for me, it's the Master Chief's most iconic moment in the entirety of Halo 4. Now then, Halo 5. I know what you're all thinking, but just hear me out for a second. So, one of the most enthralling ideas for me that Halo 5 put forward is the idea of Chief going AWOL, of Chief defying those that he'd spent his entire life serving in favour of something that he deemed even more important than his service, so much so that Oni were forced to hunt him down. Hunt the Truth established this plot point really well, and although it wasn't followed upon as well in the game, its partial presence in Halo 5 makes for Chief's most iconic moment for me. The moment where he goes against Lasky and the Infinity's orders and heads to Meridian with Blue Team.
Negative Infinity. I don't like it.
This moment showed that although Chief was very much the machine of his duo, he's also still very human. His devotion to Cortana was enough for him to break the agency of the UNSC and head off on his own path to try and save her. And seeing Blue Team, not even need any convincing to defy their leaders and follow him, just proved how tight-knit of a group they are. It was a great start to the hunt, and definitely my favourite Chief moment of the game. But we aren't done there. We've covered the games, but there's one more iconic element of Master Chief's character that I've got to talk about. It's not from the games, rather it's something born from the community but is referenced in the games. It's a conspiracy theory, actually. The theory that suggests that the Master Chief is essentially a reincarnation of the Isodidact of Bornstellar, who was responsible for firing the rings at the end of the Forerunner Flood War to wipe out the Flood. Now, this to me is the greatest gaming conspiracy theory of all time, and I'd be remiss not to mention it. Basically, throughout the original trilogy, there are a few moments where Guilty Spark refers to the Master Chief as Forerunner, even going as far as saying,
"Why would you hesitate to do what you've already done? Last time you asked me, if it were my choice, would I do it? Having had considerable time to ponder your query, my answer has not changed. There is no choice. We must activate the ring."
When trying to convince him to fire the Halos. Now, we later found out that Spark spoke to Bornstellar before he fired the array, which is what this dialogue is referencing, almost verbatim, which led many to believe that all those years ago, the Librarian had laid the seeds for Bornstellar's Gaesh, which is essentially his essence, his soul almost, to later exist within Chief and guide him to ensure that he could defeat the Flood and prevent total galactic annihilation. And furthermore, possibly even as a reference to this theory, as a part of Halo Legends, when 343 animated the scene of Bornseller firing the halos, they animated it such that it was an almost direct mirror of Chief firing Installation 08 at the end of Halo 3. Now, is Master Chief secretly a Forerunner? No. Those quotes from Spark were from way back when Bungie still considered the Forerunners to technically be ancient humans, but still, it's a super interesting theory that isn't entirely debunked, to be honest, so, I mean, you never know. But on that bombshell, it's time for me to round this video out. It's quite hard to believe that Chief is 20 years old, but my god, time has really flown. Grim, congrats on 117 issues of Canon Fodder. I look forward to the next 117. Thank you very much for featuring me and this video in the article. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching. Happy almost 20th birthday to the Master Chief, and I'll catch you all in the next one.